Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. As you can see, due to a prior commitment, Priest, your usual host, will not be here this evening, but joining us as always. First we have the sound guy for PWA, Kaluganator, Zombie. Sounded more like a sheep then.
Yeah. Oh, were you trying to go all? Were you trying to go all Woken Matt Hardy just then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And of course, my name is the analyst Robert Leach here this evening. And before we kick off anything else, this past Monday, we had the unfortunate and very untimely passing of WWE legend Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And on behalf of Priest, Zombie will be relaying a message to you all on his passing.
It is always a sad time in life when one of your childhood heroes passes away. This is the case for me with the recent loss of Jim Neidhart. He was one of the people who helped me fall in love with wrestling, especially regarding the tag team division. I loved his wild, charismatic character with a distinct laugh you cannot forget. When I used to watch him and Brett as the Hart Foundation dominate other big names with their unique styles, able to complement each other, I wanted to become a superstar like them and have a friend I could read and click with so perfectly like they did. Jim knew how to perfectly play any role, but his best was as a heel, especially when he teamed and coached Owen to build the sibling rivalry between the Harts. I will never be able to forget how his powerhouse superstar helped shape my desire and passion for the sports entertainment industry and made me always want to create my own unique twist to the Heart Attack. Rest in peace, Anvil. May you and Owen tag team to the championship in the ring in heaven.
Yes, of course, as I said, Jim Neidhart did pass away this past Monday, and
thoughts and prayers go to Natalia and the family.
Of course.
Condolences definitely sent out to them, thoughts and prayers. I, as we always joke about, wasn't alive for that era of WWF as it was then. But I am able to always look back and see all the fantastic things he did.
Thanks to the WWE Network.
Thanks to the WWE Network.
Gotta throw that hashtag not sponsored in there.
Right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this past week on Monday Night Raw, it was the final episode of Raw before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And it started off with quite the bang as someone who very well deserves it. Renee Young made her debut on Raw commentary.
It was a great one, too. Honestly, she was nervous. I think anybody that watched it and heard her voice knew that she was nervous, but the moment that she got a chance to put Graves in his place, it was beautiful. She just slid right into that role. And it would be just like the first time either one of us showed up on this show.
I remember the first time I showed up, not only on this show, but with Priest at a PWA show for commentary. I was a nervous wreck. I was like, hold on, wait, I've never done this before. I barely even know any of these guys. Let's do it.
They're hugging. I'm pretty sure
they're hugging.
Yeah.
I think that's illegal. That's not illegal. That they're hugging. They're not okay. They're not hugging. But no. Anyway, so I thought Renee Young really did fit in very well in the spot because she used to be a full-time commentator for NXT as well, and I believe on Main Event and Superstars. She's the first ever. Yeah, she's the first ever woman to commentate an entire episode of Monday Night Raw.
And hopefully not the last.
Yeah,
definitely
hopefully not the last. I mean, obviously they're obviously. What I'm thinking is they're obviously getting her warmed up for a full pay-per-view run on Evolution. She's indeed.
Indeed. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they actually announced it's going to be, what is it, Beth Phoenix, Renee Young, and I think someone else on commentary for Evolution. I know Beth Phoenix for sure, and I'm almost positive
Probably
Renee Young.
Lita or Trish.
Probably Lita or Trish.
I've seen a lot of Lita lately. So
Indeed.
Yeah.
I can't stop saying indeed. Anyway, so
Chris wants to put in an Indeed jar because of how much it's being said now.
yeah.
start having a bell just for Indeed.
Oh, the bell would be ringing constantly.
By the time the viewer is done watching our episode, their ear would be ringing. They'd be like, "Why do I keep hearing a bell? Like, what's going?"
Who keeps saying Indeed?
Well, Indeed. Now I'm stuck saying it. Thanks, Sleeper.
Well, I was saying it because you weren't here.
Yeah, he was filling in for you, so it was. I think we were kind of splitting that one a little bit. But yeah. On to
anyway, so
Raw. Anyway,
this week on Raw, we saw the B team somehow, some way, successfully defend the Raw Tag Team Championship against
Isn't
not
that what
only
always happens with the B team?
yes.
well, it's
Somehow,
the
some
B-team.
way, they successfully defended the Raw Tag Team Championship against not only the Deleters of Worlds, but also the Revival
Yeah.
in a three-way tag. It was just after when I believe Dawson was going to hit the Shatter Machine on Bray Wyatt. Curtis Axel tagged himself in, and nobody noticed.
Yep.
Except, of course, the
The ref,
announcers
yeah.
and the referee. And they hit Shatter Machine on Bray Wyatt. Dash runs out of the ring. Curtis Axel, not Kurt Hawkins, throws Scott Dawson on top of Dash Wilder on the outside. And
I'm going to say this just
somehow got the pinfall victory.
I'm going to say this just for Priest, because he actually just commented in the chat. Indeed.
Anyway, so this Sunday at SummerSlam, the B team defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Revival.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like the B team's streak of luck is going to end.
The Cinderella story is going to come to
The
an
Cinderella story. Not everybody can be like a Daniel Bryan story where somehow he did it. And especially because it happens every week. But anyway, I would like to touch on that Raw match one more time. Because I really did like how the Revival played a tribute of sorts to the Hart Foundation. They hit the heart attack in the middle of that match.
Yeah.
And I can agree with Bubba Ray Dudley on this. He made it known on Twitter he was not happy with the way it was used as a mid-match transitional move.
Should have been just
Should have been the
match.
end.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like hitting any kind of finisher, like as like the first or second move, unless
Yeah.
of course you only have like 5 moves.
The 5 moves of doom, where the 6th one will be coming up eventually. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
so
we're not going there on that.
We were going to cover that last week if you were here, but
Yeah, but
you weren't here,
you
so
it
had-
never happened.
we
you
didn't
had
bother.
you had a nightstand that you had to
A nightstand, yes,
So-
indeed. One night stand, indeed. Anyway,
not the kind you want to brag about.
indeed, I actually had to
So
put
this is
together
the kind you don't even tell your
one-night
friends
stand.
about.
Right.
One night stand was put together by me. And anyway, next on
Sounds like you
Raw,
almost went into like
our
a
second
Wallflower song because
Yeah.
like there.
One night stand.
our second point from Raw that we really want to touch on was the way Heyman came out. And Heyman has been playing everybody
Oh,
for the
gosh.
past few weeks. Heyman came out and said, look, you don't want to face Lesnar. You do not want to face this Brock Lesnar.
Not the way he is. Yeah. No.
He is more pissed than ever before.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be more violent than ever before. So Heyman said, how about this? Be a Paul Heyman guy. Roman said, I don't know if I believe you. So Heyman did a whole bunch of coaxing and finally handed him a piece of paper and said, read this. And Paul Heyman waited for Roman Reigns to put his head back up and look at Heyman. Psh,
Yeah.
pepper spray right in the face and the eyes and everything of Roman Reigns. And that was only the beginning. It was used to blind Reigns for Lesnar to come out and hit him with the F5 and get him in a front face lock guillotine hold, put him to sleep, and just absolutely destroy Roman Reigns.
See, my major point on that whole how it went down. I mean, obviously Reigns should have realized that this was his end game.
Mm-hmm.
Since you weren't here, and I don't know if you actually watched the video from last week. I referred to Heyman as being like Dr. Frankenstein, realizing now that this monster that he's created, and not the good kind of monster like Braun Strowman, but this beast.
Not just some kind of monster like Metallica said.
Yeah. But no, that he really cannot control this beast.
Yeah.
And the best way he can do it now is to try to then control those that are around him in order to maintain his semblance of control.
Indeed.
And it's almost like Reigns is one of the villagers.
Indeed.
Really?
Hi, Priest. Are you still watching?
Yeah. But
Indeed,
no.
he's not.
Oh.
But no, it's
TM.
It's like he's one of the villagers, and he's trying to control him, and no one's going to be able to control Reigns. And hell, even the fact that months ago we would go and watch a show with Reigns involved, and the entire crowd would just turn into boos. And it was the week before the first time we ever heard the crowd actually supporting Reigns. What?
Trying not to say indeed.
You're
trying
to refrain from
refrain from using indeed. Definitely.
Well, a few too many syllables, I think.
I
think indeed works.
Indeed.
Indeed's just going to have to work.
Indeed.
We're going to have an indeed counter.
Anyway, after Raw, the very next night was SmackDown Live, where we saw...
Priest is making a tally, by the way.
Oh, is he? That's amazing. Let's do it. Anyway, so... before we really get into SmackDown, I'd like to touch on the fact that this week, AJ Styles surpassed JBL as the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown history.
Honestly, we were saying this before. I feel like this is definitely the staple mark that's going to be used for this to be the end of his reign.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. I think Joe's going to...
I mean, we'll cover our predictions, obviously. But.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, so next, it's probably the biggest rivalry WWE's had in a while. The Miz and Daniel Bryan. This whole thing started.
Whoa, I don't know if I want to call it the biggest rivalry. I mean, there's been some big...
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
This is the biggest we've had in a while.
Oh, no, I actually had to sneeze.
But that was appropriate. It was like perfectly timed for it. But no, I don't think it's the biggest rivalry that there's been.
The biggest one in a while.
I
wouldn't say of all time. But
Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman for a while there was pretty bad.
I mean, how long has Reigns and Lesnar been going on already?
Exactly.
But do they go back 8 years all the way back to the original NXT?
Maybe not in length, but certainly in. They haven't really been that active with one another over those 8 years.
I mean, they kind of have. I mean, I remember there was Daniel Bryan attacked The Miz, who was his pro in NXT. There were the times on Talking Smack where The Miz looked Daniel Bryan dead in the face and said, "I wrestle like a coward." Well, you are the coward. You had to quit and you left. And Daniel Bryan had to walk away.
Right.
So he didn't screw up. So he didn't lose his job or anything like that.
Right, because it wasn't long before that he was made GM.
Yeah, and then you've got recently how The Miz, we all thought he brought Monroe Sky Mizanin onto Miz TV. Which, no, it wasn't. It was just a baby doll that he threw at Daniel Bryan so he could use that as a ploy. The Miz has gone to extreme lengths and extreme heights to definitely get under the skin of Daniel Bryan.
Well, that's been going on for 8 years now.
Right, but as far as context of rivalries, it would be up there, but I wouldn't put it as the most impactful in WWE for sure. At least not in the last 10 years.
All right.
I mean, it's
you've
up there.
You've definitely got a whole bunch more that would amount up to it, like Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I mean, just so much.
Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. I mean,
The Rock and John Cena.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many. Be sure to check
CM
out.
Punk and John Cena.
We're surely going to make a video of that now.
Yes.
Top 10 rivalries in
Top
WWE
10
history.
rivalries.
Well, they have all that crap on the network. You can pull
can get it from our perspective.
Well, yeah.
What we're saying is actually the top 10.
Indeed.
And there's another.
Anyway, next up, we're going to cover our predictions for SummerSlam. It's doggone right. Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday is SummerSlam. The kickoff show is set to begin at 4 o'clock p.m. The main show will begin at 6 o'clock p.m. So we're talking about probably a good 7 hours of wrestling, because I can see it ending at about 11.
Yeah, it's going to be a long event, but it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, definitely. Once we pull up the card for SummerSlam here, if you want to read it off there.
Yep, that's pretty much. I'm going to go just 1-to-1, and then we can give our pieces on it. All right, we've got a couple of kickoff matches. One of which is actually considered to be the B team versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Now, I said that I think that the B team is actually they're gonna keep rolling.
You see, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think they've put the Revival in this spot too much, where they've been given the tag team title opportunity and they lose it, and then they're treated like a joke for another couple of months before they finally get another opportunity. It seems like they're just giving the Revival opportunities to keep them happy and to kind of keep fans on their toes, but it's really not working. I think they finally are going to put the titles on the Revival.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember what I originally picked. But, yeah, I originally picked the Revival.
Yeah, you two were going with Revival, and Priest and I were both saying.
Yeah, I think the B team is just going to be more of a transitional tag champs team. I mean, yeah, they're on an undefeated streak right now.
That's what I said last time, and then they kept the titles somehow.
Well, I mean, you don't have to give it up right away to still be transitional.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
The fact that they're actually making some context of it. It wasn't just one victory. It wasn't Strowman.
I mean, they've only won, what, 4 or 5 matches in a row?
True.
But they surely have held it. I mean,
right.
Transitional, agree. I would definitely agree, though. So, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
All right. Then we have Rusev and Lana versus Cien Almas and Zelina Vega.
As much as I have no interest really in this match, but with all the momentum they've been giving Almas lately, I'm pretty much expecting to see him go over in the match.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am, because I feel like Aiden English is going to come out and
somehow screw it up.
And he's going to screw it up yet again and just kind of ruin it for Rusev and Lana, and that's going to really I think that's going to put Rusev and Aiden English in a feud.
The nail in the coffin of that thing that's kind of...
And it's all going to happen on Rusev Day.
It will always ever happen on Rusev Day. Anyway.
Lana Day, yeah.
Lana is the best. Lana #1.
Honestly, myself and Priest again agree on the fact that we feel that Rusev and Lana will win, and Priest actually had said that he thinks that it will, because they will get the victory because of Aiden English. That English will actually
redeem himself.
And I have to agree with him on that. I feel like this will be, I mean, and what better stage to do it on, too, on a pay-per-view of this scale.
Right.
It would be certainly a good, either way, honestly.
Even though it is on the kickoff show.
Right. And that's kind of where it kind of tilts back to whether...
Well, it's a 2-hour-long kickoff show. They got a lot of time to fill.
That's right.
It could go either way, honestly, after having you say that. It honestly could go either way, whether it be the detriment of Aiden English or him actually redeeming himself.
Yeah.
Then these are in no way the order. This is just actually the order that it's got on WWE.com for their preview of the SummerSlam. We've got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day. As much as I have been a fan of the New Day, and I do like what the Bludgeon Brothers can do, it is kind of getting a little on the old side, seeing them just plow through people. That's why I honestly do see the Bludgeon Brothers winning, but it's going to be a longer match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't agree with the Bludgeon Brothers winning because, I mean, take a look at the New Day this week.
Yeah.
On SmackDown, they defeated Sanity.
Yeah, and that's a hell of a trial for sure.
Yes, and I definitely think that the New Day have what it takes to take down the Bludgeon Brothers.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting to see New Day pull the upset.
Yeah. And
they have the power of positivity on their side.
And Priest
and
would agree.
The numbers game.
And Priest would agree that.
And pancakes.
And pancakes. But no, I don't know. I feel like it'll be a longer match. It won't just be one of those ones where they run through.
Yeah, where they go out, whip ass, and
leave. I mean, because Big E is obviously going to be their bigger test.
Definitely.
I mean, he's not as tall as they are, but they're certainly mass-wise, and he's certainly a force to be reckoned with. A match that I think is going to be just a ridiculous one. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. I'm not even going to freaking call him Constable.
Constipation Corbin.
You mean the TGI Fridays employee that poses as a constable?
Constipation Corbin.
He doesn't have any of his buttons yet.
Well, that's why he got fired.
He
kept the vest and didn't put any of the flair on it.
Shenanigans right there. But not, yeah, Balor and Corbin, freaking Balor's going to embarrass him. Like, that's...
Yeah, as dominant as Baron Corbin was when he first came on the scene, I still expect it to be Finn Balor all the way.
Yeah, I see it going one of three ways. The very first one...
Three? I mean, there's only two participants, so only one can win, one can lose.
I'm just saying... It's going to go one of either three of these ways. First is the definitely most likely. I think Finn Balor's just going to beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
But I think maybe there's a chance Stephanie McMahon could make her presence known.
Really?
And be like, hey, you forget this is my authority figure now.
Yeah.
That works for me. Works under my name that you have to obey.
Right, but that doesn't mean he necessarily has to lose a match to him.
That's right. But I also see maybe, just maybe, they might be leading into a feud with Finn Balor and Triple H.
Ooh.
Maybe. Now, I don't see Triple H coming out.
I don't know why not.
You expect it to end with it being Balor and Triple H.
I expect this to all lead into a Finn Balor and Triple H match. Probably at WrestleMania.
I mean, he is already supposed to be there. They're doing some sort of meet and greet before SummerSlam with them. So, I mean, that's an interesting concept. I don't know so much maybe if we'll see them in that. I guess another possibility would be actually Stephanie coming out post Corbin's loss and just, you were supposed to represent me.
Yes.
You failed to do so, and then just
I don't see them cutting that off so soon.
Well, it's not been well
received. I feel like WWE wants to see where it can go with more than just Finn Balor. So what I really think could happen is maybe Kurt Angle comes out when maybe Corbin starts to abuse his authority and say, hey, under Stephanie McMahon's orders, quote unquote, this is now a no disqualification match, and restart the match because he got disqualified.
Or he decides to walk away like he tried to do once before.
Yeah, I really think this could even go into Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Just one-on-one. I think it could. Now, hear me out. I think Stephanie could come out and say, hey, listen, that's my constable. This is now no disqualification. Restart. Kurt Angle comes out and says, you can't keep doing this. And if not anything else, then Kurt Angle gets fired as a general manager.
They have been kind of circling that proverbial drain.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to fire him, though. And I certainly don't think that they would put that power in Corbin's hands, even though clearly it feels like Stephanie's just been doing this with the keys lately and just teasing him with it. It's an interesting idea. I mean,
you've seen definitely Kurt Angle's frustration with Stephanie McMahon and what she's having Baron Corbin do.
Why wouldn't then Kurt Angle actually just completely flip off on Corbin and then walk away? Like he just abandons his process.
Because Baron Corbin is the middleman, and he delivers for Stephanie McMahon.
I mean, you're reading off the script of what he
I
says.
think Corbin's more the kiss ass.
Exactly.
Does what he's told.
Yeah. But then again, will he listen to her if he's told to do anything other than something that benefits him? Because honestly, he's out to benefit himself and not anything else. And for him to piss off Angle, he's found enjoyment.
He does that every week.
Yeah, he's a troll. I mean, just the same with, like, I called, who did I call a cockroach last week? Kevin Owens.
Owens.
Kevin Owens is a cockroach. And, I mean, Corbin's a troll. I mean, he's the epitome of what a troll is.
Well, no, that was Neville.
No, I'm not talking just in appearance. I'm talking I'm talking in his personality. Corbin is the definition of a troll. I mean, you and I have encountered plenty of them playing video games.
Well, yeah.
And that's exactly what they are. But, anyways.
Either way, I just see it. An authority figure is going to get involved somehow. At the very least.
Somehow, in some way.
Capacity, yes.
We can almost imagine that, especially considering who's involved in the match.
Yes.
But yeah. Priest also agreed that Balor would do the embarrassing of Corbin for sure.
It's like Balor across the board.
We'll see. All right, then something we've not honestly seen in a while. The Cruiserweight title is being defended.
It has resurfaced.
Cedric Alexander, the current champion, will be facing Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak. Let's see.
Was it Gulak or is it Gulak?
I believe it's Gulak. I don't think it matters.
None
of us watched 2055.
I mean, we're planning on trying to get into it.
Yes,
I mean,
the Cruiserweight division hasn't been seen on Raw since before WrestleMania.
And it's a shame. I mean, it really is.
It really is a shame because that's the only way.
Well, it was such a pain in the butt to change all the ropes to purple.
Yeah.
Anyway. We're going to cut the Cruiserweight match. We got to act like we care about the women. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, so. That wasn't me saying that.
Oh, was that a sexist comment from him?
Yeah. That was Vince McMahon saying that.
Well, anyways, I feel...
Or are you referring to the Cruiserweights as one?
Yeah. Well, we do remember Cedric Alexander, and honestly, I feel like he is and will remain a good Cruiserweight champion.
Yes. I think he's just going to keep it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way on that one. I think they might change the hands on that one.
If it helps to get some relevance, maybe. I mean, it might.
Yeah, I mean, because we're plucking it back out of obscurity. I mean, it hasn't really been seen since after Enzo left.
Yeah, and Enzo was putting it on the up on the face. Like people were actually seeing it all the time.
Yeah, last time the Cruiserweight Championship was seen on TV was WrestleMania.
Wow.
And,
on regular broadcast though was
main roster.
Yeah, regular broadcast though was with Enzo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But either way, it was. I mean, I think they may just be putting this on the main card, maybe to get some publicity for 205 Live. Because I feel like sometime soon, Rey Mysterio is probably going to join that division.
Wow, really?
Yes, and I think they're going to try to use that to get publicity for 205 Live.
Probably the right guy to do it. I mean, unless they were to patch things up with
there's friends that I talk to all the time at school and everything that say, "Oh, my favorite wrestler was Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio."
Oh, last time we saw him was Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yes, last time he was full time was 2014.
I mean, he's certainly not lost his step.
I mean, he's in the upcoming video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's being used as the pre-order DLC character.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, so is Ronda and who else?
Oh, there's the Woo edition.
Yeah, that's
a big deluxe edition.
Yeah, that's $130 edition of the game.
Hashtag worth it.
Yeah, I mean, after you buy it, you look at your wall, you go, woo!
Hey, someone's there on the WWE Network at the top of this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
See we're getting
back.
Up there.
We're getting back.
Yeah, WWE Network's on.
Yeah, it's getting closer. We're getting to it.
Table for three. Huh. Okay.
But yeah, obviously one of the matches that people have been talking about, we were talking about with Daniel Bryan and Miz. They're going at one another. Yeah, it's Daniel Bryan completely.
Yes.
Because the Miz is
awful.
Indeed.
There's really not much more that can really go into that. I mean, it's just going to be a brawl between the two of them.
Yeah. And we saw a preview of that here in Springfield at the recent WWE Live event.
Shinsuke Nakamura, the current U.S. champion, versus Jeff Hardy for the title. I feel like what we've been seeing lately, Hardy's going to regain it.
I don't know. I think Shinsuke is going to retain with the help of Randy Orton.
So we're talking like by disqualification, or are we talking
probably clean? Maybe. I think clean.
Well, if Orton's involved, it's not going to be clean.
Well,
we're talking like a sneak attack,
right?
Are we talking?
I think maybe the lights. No, I think the lights might go out, and then Orton is in the ring, ready to strike for an RKO. Jeff Hardy fights him off and turns around and just eats a Kinshasa.
Wow.
I feel like that
would be the only way you'd be able to pull something like that clean off, that's for sure.
I think Shinsuke is going to retain clean because think about it. If it's a disqualification, wouldn't it make sense though for Shinsuke and Orton to have some sort of beef? Like, hey, you just got involved in my match. What are you doing?
Oh,
I don't think Shinsuke would mind because he would still retain the title.
Exactly.
That's true
in that scenario.
In either way, whether or not if it was a disqualification, if Orton in some way came in and attacked Shinsuke would still retain, even if.
True. I don't know. Either way, Nakamura's going to retain the title in some way, shape, or form.
I want to see Hardy get it.
Yeah.
I think Orton's going to try to interfere, but it's going to backfire.
Yeah, and it seems since that Priest feels that Shinsuke will retain.
I'll be the lone one there.
But just
saying Hardy.
Oh, I said Hardy.
Oh, you said Hardy.
It's evenly divided. But he also agreed that with some help from Orton.
Yeah, some Orton's going to get involved somehow.
Then we have the Triple Threat SmackDown Women's Champion of the current Carmella, as well as Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. I feel like Lynch is going to take this one.
Yeah, she needs to kick some ass.
She needs to kick some ass, and I feel like she's been pushing a lot more lately.
Definitely. I think Lynch is definitely going to win it, but I think she's going to viciously attack Charlotte.
Viciously? Like, are we talking like a heel turn then?
Yes.
That's essentially what Priest is also suggesting
yes.
too.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the two of them in the decision. That Carmella's not going to be involved in the decision.
Like she'll have gotten
knocked outside the ring or something.
Because you saw how upset Becky Lynch was when she had the title match, and Paige was like, all right, you beat Carmella tonight, you're in the title match too.
Yeah.
And you saw how Charlotte won, and Becky kind of got worried. Like, damn.
Well, their friendship is a lot stronger than two of them from Raw, of Banks and
they
Bayley.
joked about that.
I
think that's going to start to fracture, just like Banks.
But it's gonna fracture hard. Like, I mean, honestly, a heel turn of Becky Lynch going hard heel, it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be intentional. I feel like she's gonna attack Charlotte, and it's gonna be accidental.
No, I think,
and then it's going to send Charlotte.
Well, it's every woman for herself in this match.
What I'm seeing is my prediction now. I have two different predictions I think happen.
Okay.
Either Lynch wins or Charlotte wins, and I think if Charlotte wins, Lynch is going to attack Charlotte after the match.
See, my thought was it was going to be Becky was going to attempt to basically pin in Carmella with Charlotte. Carmella is going to do some kind of like slide out of the way thing, and she's going to end up clubbing Charlotte, and then that's going to spark that off, and then Becky's going to defend herself to win it.
Yeah, and I could see that happening too. Like Lynch and Charlotte both have their problems with Carmella. Charlotte's holding Carmella. Lynch pulls back for the forearm. Carmella ducks out of the way, and Charlotte takes it.
Yeah. I mean, and then essentially knock out Charlotte, and then it's just down to Becky and Carmella, and of course,
but
we get
that would lead into a Charlotte heel turn, and the big thing I see coming out of this is Becky turning heel.
Charlotte, I don't know if she can do heel well.
Charlotte
has been a heel for quite some time.
Do it well though. I mean, to the point of. Like, I think Becky could honestly be like Shinsuke. We didn't expect to see Shinsuke go heel, and he's.
Oh no, Charlotte! If you want to talk being a good heel, she made that comment about Paige's dead brother at one time.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a different level to being heel in the ring versus just being a dick to somebody.
Well, I do think Charlotte is a pretty decent heel. I think the main reason she was such a good heel was because she had her daddy at ringside.
Well, when you have the dirtiest player in the game in your corner, I mean, it's gonna help you out there.
You got a lot to stand on, but also in the same token, you also got a lot to work up to.
Yes.
I mean, The Miz is dirty. I mean, but he can't maintain it. He's got to be doing something wrong all the time in order to maintain everything. He can't be a bad guy and be the best heel.
Yeah.
But I feel like Charlotte had that missing from her heel run, essentially. She had the support of the dirtiest player in the game, but she didn't do it herself.
But she wasn't a dirty player herself because she always had Ric Flair there putting someone's foot on the rope or pulling the ropes back when someone was trying to go for them.
So essentially, she wasn't. She may have been presented as the heel, is what I'm saying, but she wasn't the dirty player like she could have been. But Becky is going to be the one that's going to be completely out of left field. Like it's going to be, she's going to accidentally do something, and then she's going to realize this is how I'm going to actually be able to pull this off.
Maybe this is what I have to do.
Yeah, this is what I have to do in order to get this, and for me to be able to do this, I cannot be friends.
I can kind of start to see it now. Maybe week after week, it accidentally keeps happening,
and then she sees the
advantage. And then she's like, you know what? Sorry, it wasn't an accident. Boom.
Yeah, I'm doing it again. I mean, we're seeing that. We've seen it with. We've seen it with Nakamura. I mean, when we first, he fell right off the heel immediately. But if you look back on the videos, you see that he was already starting to drift toward that.
Yeah.
And then any heel turn we've seen lately, I mean, it's the same thing. You see that starting to drift, and then they enjoy it.
Yes.
So, but move on to
the next match.
Yeah. That's the Intercontinental Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins, but they're going to have their
respective
crazy people in their corners.
Yeah, mentally challenged people in their corner.
I don't know if mentally challenged is the right term.
Mentally incompetent.
Oh, that's even worse. Can we just say crazy?
Mentally ill.
Well, we have a psychopath in one corner and a lunatic in the other.
Lunatic in the other. So just a couple of nutcases, pretty much. Drew McIntyre obviously is a big guy. Is Ambrose ready to keep him in check so that Ziggler and Rollins can actually have the match?
I think.
Think so? I mean, he's just returning from...
I think there will be no interaction between the managers in the match.
Not between each other?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, there's going to be interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll come face to face. Maybe Ambrose will attack him. But
I could see where McIntyre does something and Ambrose is going to go and then it's going to break out into a brawl on the outside of the ring as well as inside.
I can see perhaps Rollins winning, but by disqualification. So Ziggler retains.
Ziggler retains it, but there's going to be a DQ.
Because of Dolph Ziggler. Or because of Ambrose. I think Ambrose is going to turn heel.
I've got Rollins to win.
Got a lot of heel turns, I guess it seems like.
I've got Rollins to win.
This is the one I'm really
but I'm not saying by DQ. I'm actually saying taking the belt.
Yeah.
And then possibly Ambrose
I could see Rollins
turning on
taking
him
the belt and then Ambrose being like, screw you, attack from behind, hit him with dirty deeds, and then they go into
fracture the
shield. A refurbished feud from 4 years ago when they feuded before.
Well, at that point in time, Rollins was the primary one pushing that.
Because it wouldn't be the first time that Ambrose has screwed over Rollins to get a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was that
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and there was that tension that was them trying to repair things prior to Ambrose's recent departure because of his injury.
Yes, and I think it will be
Ambrose
interesting.
Was kind of iffy with it too.
Yeah, and I think it'll be kind of interesting to see the flip between roles. Mm-hmm. Rollins was always the bad guy that everyone hated.
Now everybody
Ambrose was always the guy that everyone loved.
Yeah.
When it switches,
it's the haircut. It's got to be.
And the beard.
Yeah, it's got to be the difference in
the new look.
Yeah,
the new look tells me even more so
when Rollins added
because when he's got that scraggly hair, it looks really cool, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool! Yeah, he flipped his hair back," and you see everything like that. You know, everyone loves the hair and they love the acting and everything like that. But I can tell you that with this buzz cut and with this beard and everything, Ambrose has definitely changed his attitude as well.
I mean, it's an interesting thought. I think Rollins will take it. I mean, I'm not. Did you say that? You said he would take it?
Well, yeah, I said that. But I think Ambrose is going to make it known that he wants that Intercontinental title.
And didn't seem like Priest had any input on that one. He gave me all of his predictions, but that one seemed to be missing. I want to see Rollins take it back, but adding into this possibility of a potential heel turn by Ambrose, it opens up a whole other spectrum of. I mean, I was personally hoping we get to see the Shield actually be a thing again.
Full time,
yeah.
You know, not, we teamed up for one match, but then I've got my feud, you've got your feuds.
If you were to put the belt around, you get the Intercontinental with Rollins, get Reigns actually retain from SummerSlam, the Universal title, what is Ambrose?
You have to win it, not retain it.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, actually be able to hold on to it from SummerSlam. I mean, obviously I'm going to get into that. But,
yeah.
The only other thing then would be able to have to see Rollins and Ambrose go after the tag titles. I mean, for the Shield to be able to hold strong with belts. We've got
Owens and Strowman.
Yeah, for the Money in the Bank contract.
Only problem with this match is that it's going to be too easy for Braun to lose it.
Yeah.
Because with the fact that you can lose the case on DQ, that's going to be the Achilles heel here in the situation. In fact, that's why I'm actually predicting Owens. Just because of the fact that Braun might get himself DQ'd.
He's got too much winning against him.
Right.
Priest actually last week had said that he expects to see Owens pull off what Eddie Guerrero used to do, where he would throw the chair at his opponent and then
make it look like he got hit with the chair and then leave Braun holding the chair.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he also expected then to see Angle step out in defense of that
and overturn it.
I want to see Strowman actually keep it and then actually cash it in before the night's over with.
I don't see it getting cashed in.
Owens might if he were to take it.
If either way the match turns out, I don't see it getting cashed in yet.
Maybe
I'm thinking we're going to hold off till either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania even before we actually see the cash in on that.
You see, I think Strowman's going to keep it. Definitely.
But not cash in?
I think he's going to cash in.
Okay, so you and I are in the same...
Yes.
I
think Strowman is going to hold on to it. I can see where Priest was coming from.
Yeah.
With do the Eddie Guerrero tactics, but I think that will kind of come when maybe the referee's knocked out or there's a distraction on the outside of some sort.
Yeah.
And the distraction is taking longer than Kevin Owens would hope.
Yeah.
Strowman takes that chair, beats the hell out of Kevin Owens with it, throws it outside the ring before the ref turns around.
And takes it, you got to go the dirty way with it? No.
I think he could, and I think the crowd will absolutely eat that stuff up.
That's certainly a different way to look at it.
If it does happen.
Well, it's just because the crowd hates Owens.
Well, and
because, have you heard the reaction Strowman's been getting?
From him beating the crap out of Owens lately? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, him duct taping him inside of a porta potty was genius.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it reminds me of what he did with Roman Reigns when he put him in the back of that truck and then turned it over.
Put him in the back of the ambulance, yeah. And then, I mean, just all the stuff that happened.
Yeah. It certainly would be. It certainly is going to be a good show, regardless.
Moving on to
the Raw Women's Championship. Obviously, Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. It's going to get dirty. I just know it's going to get dirty because Alicia Fox.
Yeah, you're going to have Alicia Fox at ringside first of all.
Where the hell's
Nia?
No.
I'd say Nia's been taking some time off from what I heard.
The one that Mickey James. Where's she been?
I believe she's hurt.
She got hurt by Rousey.
That's where.
Was it the same arm injury that?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Alicia Fox came in.
And then she got hurt.
Yeah, then she got hurt. Mm-hmm. Same.
And I expect to see Alexa get hurt.
And lay her up then for a bit. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I'm not saying she's going to get laid up like that. You know, just I see Ronda getting the belt.
Definitely, Ronda's going to win it, and I think maybe here we go with the heel turns again. Yeah. Nia Jax, hello.
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of Ronda. Say, hey.
I
wasn't done with this.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of
a rematch.
You kind of ruined my match with Alexa Bliss to win this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin your match.
Well, it started out with Alexa ruining Ronda's match with her first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Ronda was the one who had the match with Nia.
I'll calm down with the heel turns. I promise. Nobody's turning heel in this one.
For most of the matches have been the big.
There's some sort of way that you know. It's the fun part about wrestling. There's so many different options.
Yeah, and every title is on the line.
Yes, and there's so many different paths that this
what happens at all the big pay-per-views mainly.
But like every single one of them. Like,
this is one of the big four of the year.
Wait till Night of Champions. Is that even still a thing? I don't even think that's still a thing.
Not with the brand. They're re-merging the brands again, so it's like...
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if Night of Champions was back again.
It was never considered one of the big four, though. I mean,
no.
WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. I mean, those are all the big four.
Well, and they're adding these bigger ones that are going to be coming in.
Like the one in Melbourne, Australia,
yeah,
it's going to be on the network.
I just see those as gimmicks just to draw more fans in those areas.
Just like the greatest Royal Rumble was in Saudi.
Just like Jinder Mahal was WWE champion was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well, what about Evolution? Do we see?
My calendar says SummerSlam way up. I can barely see it from the bottom of this rabbit hole.
Do we see Evolution actually being remaining a regular event, or is this going to be?
It's going to depend on the view rates,
right,
as to how many people sit there and watch it, as to if WWE is going to be, okay, this is going to be a yearly thing.
I think this could even lead to a WWE Women's Weekly show, maybe.
Oh, I don't know about that. That might be pushing it just a little bit yet.
Yeah, but then again, you see how the women are really...
I would say more presence in the main shows.
With
maybe more matches and maybe more opportunities to main
events and stuff like that. And
I wouldn't see it going with a whole women's show yet.
Yeah,
I'm really scared of it because I don't know if WWE can pull it off, and I don't know how the fans will react. But I really think WWE is going to go with a women's main event for WrestleMania this year.
Certainly would be a hell of a... Again, it would be a hell of a match.
Because that's the only thing really left to do.
Well, I've been talking about it for months.
And that's another reason why they're probably going to end up having Ronda get the belt, so that they can advertise her in that match.
Ronda Rousey is the women's champion.
Yeah. And then, again, like I said, with the fact that I've been talking about it for months with the women's tag division, and that with more and more of the matches that we've been seeing on both Raw and SmackDown, of being those tag matches of women. I mean, they're clearly capable of it. So I imagine if they don't announce it before Evolution, we're going to see it on Evolution.
Right.
So
now, also remember we are too far into this, by the way. But anyway, I just wanted to point out the Mae Young Classic will be finalized at the Evolution pay-per-view.
Okay. The last two, obviously, the WWE Championship, Styles versus Samoa Joe.
Samoa
Joe.
And
I think we might be seeing AJ take a little time off after this match.
Yeah.
Because you saw at the end of SmackDown this week, Samoa Joe read a whole letter from a fan, and it ended up being AJ's wife.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And you saw the look on AJ's face, like, wow, is this legit?
I don't know.
It could be mine.
Samoa Joe's definitely changed a lot with how he goes with. I mean, we've talked about it in the past. But yeah, I think Samoa Joe's going to take it for the same reason. I think Styles is taking some time off. Samoa will be I think he'll be a good champion.
Who do you think Samoa Joe could go into a feud with after this?
Well, Orton could clearly.
I think Hardy could go after it. After his feud with Orton, I think Hardy might go after it.
I think Orton wants more, obviously, because he's showcased that he wants to be a
but
he reminisces, but he reminisces about his past, and he really walks the line between them. I mean, he's stepped over when he needs to on either side. So in a sense, you could almost consider Orton that gray Jedi.
Using Star Wars terms to describe Randy Orton.
But he kind of walks the line between heel and face. I mean, he can be a good guy. People obviously love the fact that he interacts with people the way he does, and the way he is, the way he interacts with superstars in the ring. It could be either way. And the way that he's been acting lately is a good definer, I think, of seeing him doing just that. I mean, we've not seen somebody do anything like that in a long time. It's clearly been just you're either one or the other. You're either face or you're a heel. There's not anybody doing that.
We haven't had a definite, anti-hero since the days of like Steve Austin.
Exactly. And if anybody could do it, I think Orton could. I mean, he's in his prime right now. I mean, he's not getting any younger, obviously, but he's also at the peak of, I think, of his career.
Yeah. Let's kind of keep it moving.
Yeah.
We still got another match to cover. Plus, we got PWA still to bring up.
I'm not meaning to drag it on.
Right.
But yeah, Lesnar versus Reigns for the Universal. I thought Reigns obviously was going to take it and then lose it, but we've talked about that. So
I think it's going to stay with Lesnar.
Lesnar.
Only because they keep pushing this two-sport champion thing. I don't see that belt leaving Lesnar until after that UFC match. If he loses the UFC match, then he's most likely going to lose the Universal title shortly after that, too. If he wins the UFC match, he's probably still going to lose the Universal shortly after that. But I don't see it happening until then.
Yeah, because that's what WWE is all about. They like to break the record and then immediately have nothing to do with that anymore.
Oh, that's true.
So since a whole announcement of the UFC match that he's got himself into now, that they've been pushing, he wants to be the first champion in two sports. I mean, they're pushing that every single week that Lesnar shows up, when he does show up.
When he does show up.
If he's not reading a magazine in the back or Dr. Seuss books or whatever.
Ordering a big 22-ounce steak.
So yeah, I thought Reigns. That was my initial thought of it, but honestly, it's still to be determined this Sunday. As far as this Saturday, however,
this Saturday, Pinfall Wrestling Association will present Quake on the Lake live at the Blue Ridge Club in Springfield, Illinois. It's on East Lakeshore Drive.
It's on East Lakeshore Drive. The easiest way to get there is if you know where the turnoff is for Rochester Road. Don't turn towards Rochester Road. Turn the other way. That's right there.
He said it best. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 5 matches at this show for you all to witness. To start off, we've got the man fresh off his tag team title match loss at the Grand Wrestling Spectacle in his first one-on-one match in PWA since Spectacle. Cardini, who just turned on Hada in May, will be taking on Pinfall Academy graduate Johnny Kincaid, one-on-one.
Cardini is going to destroy him.
Speaking of somebody going to destroy somebody, next, a 2-on-1 handicap match. IJ Sweet teams with the opportunist Chase Brooks
against PWA Hall of Famer Mississippi Madman.
Madman is
the 400-pound raging Cajun Mississippi Madman.
Whose house? His house.
Even if it's not a house. Who's Lake Springfield? Madman's Lake Springfield.
Yeah, it's his.
Who's Boat Doc?
Who's Boat Doc? My Boat Doc. Anyway, next up, we're going to have the queen of PWA, Harley, Pinfall Academy graduate, take on Pinfall Academy graduate, the one and the only, the handsome man himself, Handsome Dan Liplock.
Wow.
I think I'm going to have to go with Harley on that one.
Yeah, Harley, for sure.
I think Handsome Dan has got Harley's number. I can tell you that right now.
He might have her number, but that doesn't mean she's going to answer the phone.
Or that he's even going to call it because he probably got the number. Like, oh my God, it's her number. I'm
yeah. Then we got former PWA Regional Heavyweight Champion Casey Jackson taking on Hada.
Yes,
that should be a good match. That should be a good match.
It's a rematch from Take Me Out to the Brawl game. Then you've got the main event, the #1 contender to the PWA Regional Heavyweight Championship, the color test made flesh, the walking, talking television set, live and in living Technicolor. Victor Analog will take on former PWA Championship challenger, the All-American Brent Dunn, who will be returning to in-ring competition for one night only.
Now, is this going to be All-American Brent Dunn, or is this going to be Big Money Brent Dunn?
I'm hoping it's Big Money Brent Dunn. I can tell you that right now.
Either way, though, I mean, as much as I want to see Analog actually perform, this one's got to be a close one.
Indeed.
Indeed.
That's all you can say about it. Indeed, it will be a close one. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, PWA is going to present Quake on the Lake this Saturday, August 18th at the Blue Ridge Club on East Lakeshore Drive in Springfield, Illinois. Free admission to the public, 5 p.m. start time, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is going on rain or shine.
Rain or shine. There will be an awning in case it does rain that we can do the show under. Either way, the Blue Ridge Club will be selling food and drinks and even adult beverages. In case you're 21 years old or older, go ahead and buy yourself some of those.
Yep, I'm like him.
Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be amazing. And also, don't forget, September 15th, PWA makes its grand return to the 8th Street Gym for One Shall Fall, ladies and gentlemen. That show, doors open at 6:30 p.m. Show will start at 7 o'clock p.m. Adults are $10. Kids 6 to 12 are $7. Kids 5 and under are always free. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be amazing. That's September 15th. You're going to see the likes of Victor Analog, Magnus, Truck Thompson, Derek Moss, and so many more.
And just in case we didn't cover it, the Quake at the Lake show, that's actually a 5 p.m. start time, not 7. So you want to be there early.
All right.
And also, one more bit of PWA-related news that we have. PWA has announced one of its Hall of Fame inductees for the class of 2018.
Indeed.
And that's going to be former tag team champion,
or PWA Tag Team Champion,
Michael Shard.
The unbeatable Michael Shard. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's well-deserved. It really is. You know, he goes back in Central Illinois history. I mean, you can go all the way back to the days where Michael Shard, in I believe it was Glory Pro or Pro Wrestling Glory, something like that.
Also New Midwest Wrestling.
New Midwest. I mean, Michael Shard at one point, I'm pretty sure, was part of Attitude Inc.
He was.
He was. Michael Shard was part of
the third
Attitude
man.
Inc. He was the third man in Attitude Inc. And, you know, Michael Shard has done so much, from one-on-one matches to being a tag team wrestler to being in a faction known as Attitude Inc. It was always amazing, and it was always an honor to see and call one of Michael Shard's matches because he was fantastic in that ring. His last match was Spectacle 6 when he lost with John Magnus against the Hot Boys in a TLC match for the PWA Tag Team.
I think I see that perspective you were talking about now.
We're not in a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We're not in a rabbit hole. We're on top of the ground, actually.
Are you sure?
The hole's over there.
Oh, it's over there.
No, the hole's over. We're talking about PWA Hall of Famer Michael Shard.
I thought it seemed like you were starting to traverse down a rabbit hole.
No, but you know what? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Shard, of course, going in the Hall of Fame. Quake on the Lake this Saturday. SummerSlam this Sunday. And I can't wait to see what the future of professional wrestling has in store.
And
Indeed.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the analyst Robert Leach.
Kluge.
Zombie. I'll be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when we do go live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Kuganator and Zombie, myself, and Priest, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to The Sleeper Hold every Thursday at 8 p.m. As Zombie said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Sleeper Hold.